Rocco shares greetings. He must look extra exhausted today. We went for a walk and it's beautiful out here on the East Coast. Okay, for the markets, let's take a look at what happened today. It was a low volume day again. S&P sold off. Vol firmed up further. Let's look at what moved the markets today. Also, I just had my Business Insider interview, our every other month or so chat about what I see in markets and stuck to my 6,000. Here we go. S&P year-end call. And I'll share it in the link when it gets published, I think after tomorrow. So today it was a sell-off in all the developed markets. This was an EFA type sell-off day. So if you had European stocks or ETFs, this was a developed markets day. Very much so. Canada, different parts of Europe, Taiwan. International exposure got hit today. Sending vol higher, up 4%. It was up yesterday, even in a flat-ish tape. It firmed up today. Canada, as I said, down 2.25%. Big move for them. The ETF for Europe down 1.75%, and then Taiwan down almost nearly 2.5%. And lately, now as I compile the list for the top gainers of the past 5 days, it's become difficult. It's become honestly just the solar stocks. TAN continues, and we'll take a look at the chart. Volatility. So when you have volatility on the greatest gainer list, stocks are usually to the downside. So this list should be thin. And then semiconductors right behind, which is usually mega beta. So if that's going well, market usually is going well. So you get a couple mixed signals here. And then Taiwan, but way back at 1% positive for the past week. So a lot of mixed messages there in a market that's 3 days removed from all-time highs. And the top losers, though, no shortage there. It's been nat gas back leading the loser list. We'll take a look at that if that presents an opportunity. Regional banks got hit today hard. That's what really sank the IWM, led that dispersion, that disparity between the IWM down 1.5% versus the Qs down only 0.75%, same as the S&Ps. Where were we? Yep, and copper miners now is a losing trade on the week. We'll see if that allows a setup. And airlines, American Airlines got hammered today, down 15%, and then Chinese internet stocks down 5.5%. And we'll especially focus on the best 3 trades of the week. This long solar, short nat gas, short regional banks. All right, without further ado, so here's the S&Ps on the day. Let me boopity boppy. So this is the S&P on the day. We were really just holding the line here until 3:30. It was overall down on the day, and then really we fell out of bed and closed all the lows. VWAP, or your volume weighted average price, is 526.46. That's the most meaningful level. And also, I do want to state that the S&P had 35 million shares. So again, we're talking Thanksgiving Friday half-day type volume sessions. So never shortage on the market, though. This is likely to mean revert right to that 519 or so level in SPY, or 2% low from here. It started to do some of the heavy lifting a little bit today, down nearly 1%. Okay, this is the 1 year, as I said, expecting mean reversion down here to 520. And I really do, just the way the market's moving, to add about $10 or so to SPY by the end of every month. It sounds simple, and obviously it's not going to go in a straight line, but more or less that's what you're to expect the rest of the year. All right, let's go through what happened today. All right, so volatility, got to look at the chart. It had an outsized move today of 4%. Now it is actually appropriately priced. We were talking about before how this was really getting super discounted, a little bit too much below the bands here. I'll even zoom on the chart into 2 times the time frame. This was just, if you look, so I zoomed in, this is the 6 month. If you do it on a 1 year, this was trading outside of its expected normal distribution, which is typically unlikely. That means things got a little bit too calm. So now volatility is perked up. Blame it on rates, blame it on developed markets, sell off, blame it on gold rising to new highs, whatever expensive market, whatever it is. We've now gone from, on May 22nd, which was 1 week ago, 52-week low at 11.12. We've now gone up to 11.93, where whatever how many cents that is. It's not a magnificent move, but it's it's going in the right direction. I probably see this going to its 21-day exponential moving average of around 1210. So it's got 17 cents or 1.5% to go. So it did a lot of its heavy lifting today. And it should probably continue through the end of next week. So you'd see probably extended weakness in the market, and which would mean translate into strength to VXX. So even on the top band, it's 1305. So nothing amazing, like a 30% rip in the VIX. It looks like this is set to continue. All right, let's take a look at the Canada chart. Canada got sold hard today. I haven't traded Canada in a while. Canada very correlated with oil and commodities. Yeah, this is turning into a negative story as of late, even though it just topped May 20th. I don't like it's traded since. It looks like it's imminent on breaking support. I'm not super interested in this. It's a good flush to the downside. I think it has support right around here at 37 and maybe to an upside of 39, but I think there's better, more attractive areas of the market to do than this. All right, let's go to VEA. This is the Europe, essentially, or developed markets. Well, look, it's very close to the next one, EZU. This one, very similar, topped on May 20th. This one looks better than Canada overall, though. This one hasn't broken down and just, bar by bar, day by day fashion. Still a nice incline 200 day, holding the 50 RSI on a 14 day. This probably has support. This could go a little bit lower to May 49. So maybe able to kiss another 2% away in this, but this looks good. And then another target of 51 or so as it chops higher. But this looks better than the last one. I'd still say there are some even better areas, but this was all in focus today, down 1.7% is a big move. This is going to be pretty much the same chart. This has to do with the constituency. I think one's long more like Nestle or whatever it is, or a large pharmaceutical company, Bayer or whatever it is. Anyway, so this topped on May 15th. They call it $53. A nice little mean reversion here down to 51.30. Sell off of 1.8% or so today. This one probably has potentially a little bit more to go, maybe like 50 quarter. So not a ton more, but maybe right around here. But yeah, that looks overall good. This looks the best, honestly, of Canada or VEA, this EZU. So it would probably drill down to what makes this ETF by allocation. So I like that makeup best. And that's probably ready for an entry in the next week or so. Taiwan, let's take a look. This one was in the video the other day because it was leadership all the way to 52-week highs. Yep, right here yesterday. Down 2.5% though. That is a big move lower. I think it could still move lower down towards the 21-day exponential moving average, which is 50 even. So, and that would be another dollar from here, or 4% ish. So this could move a little bit more. But yeah, it looks overall good. All right. And then the top leaders of the past 5 days, no repeating charts. So TAN is still the best trade, not only on the long side, but in the entire market. Let's take a look. I had said that I thought it was going to, it got right here. This is a significant level. If it can close above, and the level specifically is 46.85, it's doing it 2 days in a row now. Maybe 3. If it could do this for about a month or so, similar to what we've seen in China, Chinese internet, then it is a positive story, and I'll believe in it. Right now, it looks a little heavy. It needs a little bit more time in these solar stocks. Right now, it looks like to the upside, so I'm not going to stand in front of it. There's better ways, especially if you think the market is going higher. It's silly to pick on a trade because for whatever reason, to single it out. But this looks good. It's above the upper band. I still think this has a date with $44 very soon, which would be a big move lower. Surprised it held flat today, which leads me to believe, looking at these candles shorter term, not horrendous looking. I'm kind of impressed. It may hold. We have to see. I need to give this literally several weeks. I want to really have a firm opinion on this, and you'll know by the end of June where that is. Might have some very volatile days from here to there, though, of course. VXX, the next biggest mover. We already looked at that chart, however. Third biggest mover is semiconductors. We'll take a look at this. Semiconductors are up 5% over the past 5 days, or an average of 1% per day. These are extended. This follows suit with what I believe the market has to come down to around its 21 EMA to about 230, which is $15 from here, or 3% more. Did a good start today, down 1.6, but I believe ultimately this is going to trade down to about 230. Everyone hold on to their butts a little bit, but that's not a hurtful level or anything like that. This is still just to where it takes us to where we were a week ago. So, but semis look great. Yeah, this should be in mean revert consolidation mode for the next one to 2 weeks. And then Taiwan, we already looked at. That was the fourth biggest gainer of the past 5 days. Okay, top 5 losers of the past 5 days. Nat gas, the best short in the on the short side of the market in the past week. So where TAN is the best long or the best trade overall, at long, plus 11.5% over the past 5 days, or 2% change a day. Nat gas is the second best trade in the market, and it's way behind that. In terms of alpha, it's 6.5% to the downside over 5 days. So, just a little bit more than 1%. So always want to have the, rising tides lifts all boats theory. So this chart we have, the 1 year. So look at this. This is a great example of nat gas and me needing more time in terms of seeing the solar stocks. This is what I expect to see is what happens to solar stocks. It's heavy resistance and hits its head and it chomps along forever. And you can use it as a guide as its ultimate ceiling. It's not going to surpass that. It's just too heavy. It's just not going to do it. People don't have the valuation of that security any longer. This is impressive that it's overbought. So that could be changing in terms of sentiment, but haven't seen it. Ironically, or literally, it hit right here and it's gone down. This, in terms of price level, what we said 46.85 for TAN is a meaningful level, and it's done it 2 days in a row. For nat gas, it's 21.45. We'll round up, so it's not even close to doing that. So that's its ceiling, and it's not going to surpass that. In terms of shorting here, it's more of a higher risk. It has come in a little bit, but as you could tell, it already got to this bunching of those, meaningful levels. I think it could. Let me see this. It might have so it was down 6% today, so that's pretty, hard move. So it did a lot of the work today. The 21 EMA for this is 1780, so which is 40 cents away. 3%. You could also have like a, not a flash crash, but you could have a, if you have a market sell off, especially a commodities driven sell off. This could potentially, I think, get to 15.75, 16, something like that. So if you're in puts, these could really move. But it did a lot of the work already from 21.60 to 18 very quickly. But this looks like it'll continue to move lower. Regional banks got hit hard today. I saw Valley National, Bank of the Ozark. Good show on Netflix. Bank of the Ozark was down 15% today. Loan loss provisions and things like that. I think Valley National was for some other reason. So regional banks, this was a flavor back around Thanksgiving, Christmas time. This is when this was hitting its 52-week highs. The financials, JP Morgan's, Goldman, Morgan Stanley, Citi, Bank of America, Wells Fargo have ran outside of this. The regional bank subsector has remained very, very heavy since we were all eating turkey and watching pretty average football games on Thanksgiving. I think they were average. But it has support here right at this 46.5 level. It's going to hug right around that $47 line, right around that $37 mark, maybe with it hitting its ceiling at 50.51. I don't want to chase it, but you could see a move into this, but they sold it off hard today. Copper miners, obviously this was a big winner for the most of the year. Hit its high about 9 days ago now at $53, call it. It's had a almost 10% sell off. I want to see it base around like 48.5. It's 21 EMA, which I trust a lot. I don't want to pay these levels. Ultimately, the target is, to me, right around here again, of course, around 52. And I believe it'll ultimately take it out. This looks good. This doesn't look like just a flash in the pan, especially it's holding its 200-day moving average. It still has legs. It just started in March. Periods of overbought. Looks pretty strong. I want to see it base around, if you can get an entry around 48.5, maybe, next week. That would be a nice trade. Airlines in focus. What's it called? Got smoked today. American Airlines got hit really hard. Like down 15%, I believe. So it sank this sector down 2 and a third percent. This actually has broken down below its volatility band. This is a basket, so it's hard to do this. American Airlines could do it for 100 vol or whatever it's set. As you can see, airlines occasionally do this. It did it right here as well on April 16th. Maybe it was JetBlue or Spirit News or whatever. It did it clearly here. It did it here in January. So it's got kind of history of doing this almost like once a month or once every other month. The story overall is, net positive, I guess. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. It just looks bound between this 10% range. I mean, it really does look range, but stuck between 19 and 21. I think it will find support here, as we said, is customary once a month or so. It does this. It probably makes a move towards 20.5 over time, but there's better areas. And then Chinese internet, let's take a look. We were looking at this yesterday and said it could be ripe for investment. We're coming very soon because it could slip further. And what did it do today? It slipped further. I am getting oversold by alerts from data providers and a model. It's got support here for sure. Once it stabilizes, you could really see this other algos kick in and start to accumulate a stock that is stabilizing and it's starting to especially have a rising 200-day or on different lookbacks. So this looks good. I would say this is actually pretty. If you can get in better than 30, I would say this is a really good entry, and the target's still right around 32. So this looks good. I don't know if it's going to be right for an options, call spread play just yet, but it looks good. So again, best of the absolute trades of the market, analyzing long tan. I said it needs a month for me to really have an opinion after that, just because of where specifically it is. Then it can really shoot to the upside, or this is it, and this is going to end this week. Short nat gas, we already talked about that, and then regional banks. Oh man, I'll take a breath during those videos. All right. Anything else? I think that's it. Oh, my Rolling Stones Kornheiser. Sign off. Bye.